What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jamon Bolton with All Things Hoops. Today we're going to talk about Bounce Back, the story of Ronnie Fields. Anybody who knows anything about high school basketball, you know who Ronnie Fields is. If you know basketball, period, you know who Ronnie Fields is. Ronnie Fields played with Farragut Academy for 4 years. High school teammate of Kevin Garnett's junior year. And Ronnie Fields became known all around the country for his amazing ability. His athletic ability was off the charts, man. He could jump with the best of them, 6'2", 6'3". A room at 52-inch vertical leap. And I mean, it's not hard to believe if you've seen any of his highlights. I remember as a kid growing up in New York, my dad lived in Chicago, so I would always get the inside scoop on this Kevin Garnett kid and this other kid, Ronnie Fields, man. Before Kevin Garnett got there, actually, my dad would always tell me, yo, you got to check out this kid, man. He's about 6'1", 6'2", and he could jump out the gym. And my dad would always talk about this kid, and this kid named Ronnie. And then Ronnie started coming to my attention span when he played with Kevin Garnett, and Farragut made that amazing run, which didn't result in a state championship, but they had an amazing run with two of the best high school players in the country. In 1996, Ronnie Fields, 95, 96, he was able to do his own thing on his own because Garnett obviously went to the NBA. But look at the class of 1996, they had a lot of notable names: Steven Jackson, Mike Bibby, Jermaine O'Neal, and some kid named Kobe Bryant, who's probably going to go down as one of the top 10 players of all time when it was all said and done. But Ronnie Fields is right there, right behind Kobe. He was probably the best player in the country, not named Kobe Bryant. And unfortunately, he suffered a car accident, which broke his neck and kind of derailed his career. He committed to play at DePaul, didn't qualify academically. Life took a tailspin. He had a sexual assault charge at some point in which he was cleared of. So, at that point in time, it wasn't really about his skill set. It was just really about like, damn, he's kind of young. He's getting out of hand. He's in trouble. And, a lot of owners, from a business standpoint, like, why am I going to pay this kid all this money? And he's going to screw up and he's going to do this or do that. But, Ronnie played 15 years overseas and made the best of it. Played in the CBA, broke all kinds of records. He's going to go down as a legend. But, the story Bounce Back just talks more about where he's come from and where he's at now. Most people would fold. How many high school legends are out there that was the man and, oh, they was this, they was that, and then they ended up not doing anything. They're on the corner telling about their legendary feats and how they put up 50 on this team and 50 on that school. They didn't do nothing with their career. That's not the case here with Ronnie. It would have been great to see him say, hey, he was in the NBA. He did this, he did that. It would have been a wonderful thing. But honestly, from my perspective, where I'm coming from, looking at the story, it's a great cautionary tale. As a kid where, he made a mistake and fell asleep behind the wheel, broke his neck. Some things got a little crazy in life, but, he kept at it. He went overseas and he played. You go overseas, you make another career out of it. Sometimes it's the NBA, sometimes it's not. And in the midst of everything, his career is over now, obviously, but, he's healthy, he's got his health, he's living life, he's back in Illinois helping kids, and, he's speaking and doing speaking engagements. So it's kind of like a success story in itself where his peers respect him heavily for what he did. Everybody knew he should have been in the NBA, but it just didn't work out. It wasn't in the plan for him. God had other plans, I'm sure. And he's coaching now. He's doing a great job. He's out there getting his feet wet, and I'm sure someday, hopefully, he plans on maybe being a high school coach. Who knows? He may end up back at Farragut, but it's definitely a great story, and just to see him, he's somebody that I remember looking at and being like, wow, this kid is amazing to be able to do what he does at his size and how explosive he was. I mean, I don't think he's ever going to be another high school player like that. Well, now it's a little different because Dennis Smith Jr. reminds me of him a little bit, but Ronnie Fields is a different story, man, where he's just legendary and everybody remembers him and they loved him. So if anybody can take a chance and try to find it, man, Ronnie Fields Bounce Back, the movie. I know the trailer's online. You should be able to purchase it online. I purchased it a few years ago, and I watch it from time to time, but it's a story that needs to be told. I know a lot of times it just kind of falls by the wayside and nobody really thinks much about it, but I like to sit there and tell these stories and get a chance to tell you what I feel, just because I know it can help a kid out there. There's a kid out there right now that's probably a few years behind, and he's coming up right now, and he's got the world at his feet. And he's got he may not have had any adversity, but what happens if and when that adversity comes? How are you going to handle it? How are you going to bounce back? What would you do? Are you going to fold? You're going to be like Ronnie and, put your big boy boots on and get going and do what you have to do. So definitely a good movie. I recommend it for anybody that's like, hey, I love watching these documentaries. It's worth your time. Trust me when I tell you that. I'm not Siskel and Ebert, but I do know a good basketball story when I see one, and this is one that I've known about since I was a kid in 1995, 1996 in New York. Like, I remember hearing his name and being sad that he got hurt and just everything, man. So for me, it was kind of like the icing on the cake, getting to see him and always wanting to hear more about him. And now I got that in this documentary. So hopefully what I felt, somebody else will feel, and, it'll help another kid. So again, Jamon Bolton for All Things Hoops. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you another time.